internationally. According to a BBC report in South Korea, police have found the body of the city's mayor after he went missing on Thursday in South Korea's capital. Mayor Park Won-soon's daughter told police he had left a message before leaving the house, leading her to raise the alarm. His body was found at Mount Bukak in the northern city, where his phone signal was last detected near his body. No cause of death has yet been released. It has emerged that a female employee had filed a sexual harassment claim against Mr. Park hours before he went missing, but there has been no confirmation that this was a factor. Mr. Park was elected mayor of Seoul in 2011 and elected to his third and final term in June 2019. As a member of President Moon Jae-in's Liberal Democratic Party, Mr. Park was reportedly under consideration as a potential presidential hopeful in the 2022 elections. And on to the weather forecast. Today will be cloudy to overcast with some heavy showers at times in varying localities. Maximum temperature is 29 degrees Celsius. High tides at 7:12 a.m. and 8:14 p.m. Low tides at 1:39 p.m. Join us again at 7 a.m. for more news. I am Uma Ratan Singh, wishing you a good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarkets, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
And a very good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and thank you very much for choosing 975 FM Hot Like Pepper as your radio of choice. I am Kenrick Jaggernaut, and both Nicole Duki and myself, we'll be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning as we continue with today's edition of the morning program, You Talk on 975. The time in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is just about 9 minutes past the hour of came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad, the PNM's candidate for Couva South. It's time for your daily horoscope with Uma Ratan Singh. Stay with us here, 975.
Welcome to your daily horoscope for Friday, 10th July 2020. Your daily horoscope on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, Aries. If anything, your life is now slightly more relaxed than it was only for a short time ago. Remembering that astrology is about what you do for yourself rather than what happens to you. You may find any way you can to pamper yourself and do precisely what you want. Taurus. Partnership still holds the key to a successful day. So even if you have doubts about linking up with particular people, you should put them to one side. As you know, it takes two to tango. Be surprised, the person who offers you the best advice. Gemini, you may spare a little more time to consider your physical well-being and do yourself a favor by lowering the level of emotional stress. It is not that tension is necessarily any greater than usual, just that it is a useful time to improve your morale. To realize how adventurous you can be at work, including voluntary tasks, and now is the time to surprise everybody by showing that you have hidden depths and talents that colleagues never even guessed at. You might even hear something to your advantage. Leo, today's solar alignments are among the most important of the month. You are likely to experience hold-ups and difficulties, but the result could be to push you into a life that is much more worthwhile. Little that you can't deal with by being perfectly charming. Virgo, Venus steps up its influence very soon, maintaining a relationship with several planets, including Jupiter, which will help you win friends and influence people who have never been susceptible to your charms. You can therefore afford to feel encouraged about the future. Libra, your attitude, though you may not see the results just yet. The key seems to be a greater desire for commitment, itself born of a need for security. Can you achieve this and maintain your independence? I think you can. Scorpio, the common clash of aspirations will be between your private desires on the one hand and the way you want the world to see you on the other. Try to find a middle way, reconciling family pressures with career and public ambitions. It could be easier Sagittarius, it's a serious sort of a day, and you'll be in a mood to make long-term commitments. This may mean, of course, that current obligation, and you might decide you're not pulling your weight. Mind you, the pleasure principle remains strong, so enjoy. Capricorn, you may now daydream and fantasize to your heart's content. The plain fact is that once you start serious, it matters, like the next step in a financial venture. Aquarius, life's not always been easy, but nobody ever promised it would be. There is now a light at the end of one very long tunnel. You will catch sight of it over the next few days, and even though it will then disappear again, it should help you guide you to a successful conclusion and safe destination. Venus' increasingly emotional status will reinforce your desire to be alone. However, emerge from your shell over the next couple of weeks, you will surprise yourself with your newfound confidence. You never know, you might just create the right impression on the right person. Your daily horoscope on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is coming to you courtesy Jyoti Puja Store off Southern Main Road in Chase Village. I am Irma Ratan Singh, wishing you a positive and blessed day.
Store is your one-stop puja store for all puja, wedding and criminals. Also available books made to order. Visit Jyoti's Puja Store today and be greeted with the kindest and most courteous staff with best prices and secured parking. Jyoti's Puja Store located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, Shigwanas. Contact 671-3849.
Puzzle lovers, rejoice! Your free 24-page Newsday puzzle book is now available twice a week, only in your Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Now you really can look forward to staying home, independent and credible.
U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is coming to you, listeners, and we're bringing goodies too. That's right. The U975 FM family is taking over the streets with our bandwagon. Starting this Saturday, 11th July 2020, and continuing throughout the upcoming weeks. Central Trinidad, this is your time. Look out for a 40-foot music trailer of raw power, powered by Randy B Sound Company, passing in your area. We start in Couva, then head up into Chaguanas. Felicity, you will not be left out. We will be passing through your area, and then we head to Monroe Road, Bokal, and Caroni with a smashing after party.
Sponsored by Balloon Engineering Company Limited, Crystal Waters, Peter Power and Wholesalers, Super Quality Supermarket, Jyoti's Puja Store, Darpan Trading Company Limited, and Darpan Supermarket of Sangre Grande.
Much for choosing us here at 97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper. Well, it's a very beautiful Friday morning here in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and as I look out of our studio here in Couva in central Trinidad, it's a bit dark and gloomy at this time, but according to the Met Office, we can expect a fair day. But later on this late afternoon and getting into the evening, we can expect some showers. There would have been some showers in the Princestown area this morning, and coming up on the highway in the Gasparilla area. You know, sometimes I really take issue with some of these motorists. I just cannot fathom why some of these motorists want to continue to drive at a matter for another time. Good morning, people. Good morning, and welcome to today's edition of the morning program, the most interactive morning program on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago. I am Kenrick Juggernaut, and yes, sharing the studio with me this morning is the ever lovely and the beautiful Nicole Dukey, and we will be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning as we look at some of the issues of the day, the challenges facing us here in Trinidad and Tobago, and also give you, our listening audience, an opportunity to share your thoughts with me. Note that you can call us this morning 547-227-5739. Let me say a very special good morning this morning. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning to you, Kenrick, and good morning to our listeners on U97.5.
Well, let's see, I use my sexy voice there, right? Good morning. Yes, in all seriousness, at this time, it's just about 20 minutes here past the hour of 6 o'clock. And let me remind you that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad. Yes, Mr. Rajendra Rampasad is the People's National Movement candidate for the Couva South constituency. Well, at this time, let's take a look at what are some of the major stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Today, it's Friday, July 10th, 2020. And in today's edition, it's about 48 pages in total. Front cover of today's edition. Prime Minister calls for international observers. New video surfaces in police killing of 3 fresh questions. Well, Nicole, you would have broke that story yesterday.
Yes.
Where you said that new video surfaces. Yes. Yeah. So that's the cover of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper, where a number of members of the Bar Operators Association of Trinidad and Tobago would have picketed outside the office of the Prime Minister at Whitehall yesterday, calling on the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, to revisit that situation. That situation I'm talking about is the hours. They are taking issue with the fact that the Prime Minister would have reduced the 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Okay, security, Ministry of National Security.
You know, all those beautiful terms and just rhetoric. I'm just editorializing here. Maybe one can remind me what was the murder toll under the watch of the People's Partnership. Just throw that in today, our conversation here this morning. Bar owners want their 2 hours back. That story is on page 5. And a bit later on,
we're touching base with one of the members of the association.
I think he's of the association. Will be chatting with us this morning, Satish Munesa. So we're going to get his thoughts on that matter. Read on page 5 of today's edition of the Newsday. Attorney General, opposition would not have supported more powers for the PCA, that is the Police Complaints Authority.
Okay, Kenrick, we saw that yesterday the murdered pharmacist from the Chase Village area, Fit for Life Pharmacy, he was laid to rest. No one was arrested yet. An autopsy had showed that he was strangled to death.
All right, so investigation still continuing into that matter. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley writes CARICOM for election observers. Now, that call was made by opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar. And yesterday, news coming out would have written to CARICOM for election observers. There's some developments taking place in the politics of the day.
Yes. Well, we see the Ministry of Works in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance will issue a one-time payment.
Stories on page 8. Cement and Waterfront Workers Trade Union members protested on Wednesday morning, calling for increased wages, which they say was promised since 2014. Interesting.
And the chief medical officer said 100 more nationals would return to this country over the weekend.
Yes, I think that by the chief medical officer at that virtual press conference on Wednesday. On to some crime news now. Arima couple arrested for gun and ammo in bedroom. Man shot and wounded in Pleasant after a shooting at Pleasantville on Wednesday night. Those stories on page 9.
Okay, so political analyst Shane Mohammed is predicting a split in Tobago for the August 10th general elections, with the Progressive Democratic Patriots taking Tobago East and the PNM retaining Tobago West.
Nicole, do you know who Shane Mohammed is?
No.
Shane Mohammed was at one time a devotee of Kamla Persad-Bissessar and the people. And because of some fallout, he has now taken issue with her style of leadership and is now describing himself as a political analyst. Anyway, that's another story for another time. Wrong body delivered, funeral home losses, attempt to dismiss lawsuit. That story on page 10. Road system working? Well, we ran that yesterday.
Yes, we ran that yesterday as well.
Okay, on to some other stories here now. The chief medical officer, you would have mentioned that this morning. Stuart Phillips, government employees trying to access rental assistance.
Right. And we see the UNC Tabakit candidate, Anita Haynes. She says she's not being lulled into complacency because she's contesting a traditional UNC political stronghold.
Well, you know, I read in details her comments and so on, analyzing here and digressing our conversation. I think that the United National Congress would have made an excellent choice in selecting Anita Haynes as the candidate for Tabakit. Certainly a young woman, a great head on her shoulders, and we would have interviewed her on a number of occasions. And you can catch her thoughts in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper.
Okay, for the first time in 10 months of operation, Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited earned $7.3 billion in revenue and a profit after taxes of $109 million.
And that coming from, I would imagine, the Minister of Finance or Energy, yes?
I believe so.
All right. Yes. Now, the big story, Nicole, you called me last night to remind me of this, yes? Caribbean Premier League. It's on. You see, you're laughing. Caribbean Premier League, it's on, yes. Cabinet gives CPL the green light. But hello, hold on, folks. Hold on, sports fans, cricket fans.
A little bit of disappointment, huh? Yes.
No spectators allowed, No spectators allowed. So the cabinet would have given the green light to proceed with the CPL 2020. These matches will be played at the Queen's Park Oval and in South at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Questions would have been posed as to all of the players, support staff, administrators, and so on will be housed in quarantine at the Hilton Hotel.
Yes.
Question would have also been posed, what about other guests? Well, the minister would have stated that no other guests will be allowed in that period. These players will be quarantined for 14 days.
Very interesting. And again, last night at the UNC's virtual meeting, the opposition leader slammed the government for mismanaging the economy by relying heavily on taxes and loans to improve the state of the country.
Well, sometime last week, Dr. Keith Rowley would have spoken about this matter down at the opening of the Point Fortin
about taxes.
Hospital.
Yes.
He said,
Yes.
don't believe people when they say, they're going to remove this tax and remove that tax, and the rhetoric, political jargon. Anyway, go outside and purchase your copy of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Reading newsstands throughout the country. It's chock full of news, views, interviews, and yes, you can also get the latest from the world of sport. So before we go to some commercials here this morning, let me remind you of the West Indies coming up against England in that first test. Yesterday was the second day, and at stumps on the second day, West Indies replying to 204 for the loss of 1 wicket. During the course of the morning, I'll keep you abreast as to the scores in that test series. Stay with us here, 975. When we come back, we will take your calls at 636-7547, 227-5739. Let me remind you with the Vice President of the Bar Operators Association of Trinidad and Tobago just after the 7 o'clock hour, and a bit later on, we have confirmed Philip Alexander.
Yes.
He'll be chatting with us. Philip Alexander of the Progressive Mentor Party. We're going to chat with him after the 8 o'clock hour. So we've got this big event 975 will be hosting tomorrow. And remember, Shiva will be carrying it live for us on YouTube. Yes, you can also catch us live on YouTube at RCLU 975 FM. And you can also catch us at 9.com. All right, Stay with us here, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Let's go to some commercials here this morning. The time in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, it's just about 6:30. That time check came to you through the kind.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for you and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South, to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote me.
Road Gasparillo for your business and personal tool and rental needs. Available for rent. Coring machines, compactors, concrete vibrators, demolition hammers, drills, saws, scarifiers, pressure washers, generators, welding units, trash pumps, hydrostatic test pumps, and free transport in and around Gasparillo and at very competitive at 650-2362 or 789-4581 for more information.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
You can now listen to business news Monday to Fridays at 5 p.m. Get updated on all the latest business developments. Tune in to U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, where we keep you informed, educated, and entertained.
5FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is coming to you, all loyal listeners, and we're bringing goodies too. That's right, the U97.5 FM family is taking over the streets with our bandwagon. Starting this Saturday, 11th July 2020, and continuing throughout the upcoming weeks. Central Trinidad, this is your time. Look out for a 40-foot music trailer of raw power, powered by Randy B Sound Company, passing in your area. We start in Couva, Felicity. You will not be left out. We will be passing through your area, and then we head to Monroe Road, Bocal, and Caroni with a smashing after
After Party. Sponsored by Balloon Engineering Company Limited, Crystal Waters, Petersfield Hardware, Limer's Bar, Pawan Wholesalers, Super Quality Supermarket, Jyoti's Puja Store, Darpan Trading Company Limited, and Darpan Supermarket of Sagri Grandi.
Remind you that you can be part of this event. Yes, transport will be provided to and from the station. We are located at Exchange Lots in Couva. You are asked to gather at the compound at around 8 o'clock in the morning. That is tomorrow morning. And if you want to reserve a seat on the Maxi, well, then you need to call 769. Listen to this number here, 769-6538 to reserve your seat. Come, you are invited to bring your friends and bring your family and follow the motorcade as we proceed throughout various communities in central Trinidad. Event indeed. So come and be part of that. It's our road show, our first road show for the year, and you can expect more great things from us here at 975. Well, let's get into some more serious issues of the day. Fresh questions. New video surfaces in police killing of 3. The Police Complaints Authority, David West, is saying, well, look, we do not have the necessary resources. We've been asking for the necessary resources for the longest while. We still have to rely on police officers to conduct investigations into these.
We have the Attorney General saying that they did not get the support of the opposition to give the Police Complaints Authority what they need.
I am fed up and tired of some of these policymakers calling on the opposition and stating they did not support this, they did not support that. Look, legislation, Nicole, will not help us. Legislation will not put a lid on the crime situation plaguing Trinidad and Tobago. We have over 240 people in this country, 240 people, and climbing. Legislation. The wave of criminality continues in this country. But good news for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, Nicole. The Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, would have announced that he would have invited observers
for the election
in 2020. This call, of course, would have been made by opposition leader Kamla Persad Bissessar. Now, one of the biggest stories that's circulating yesterday, and I empathize and I sympathize with these bar owners.
Yes, very
I will.
so.
Can you tell me what difference does 2 hours make? 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Yes. Are you telling me, and I'm talking here about the policymakers, are you telling me I've contract the virus? Is that what you're telling me? So you decided to, let's say, reduce the time from 10 to 8? Is that what you're saying? I doubt it. Look, these people have taxes to pay. They have bills to pay.
That's it.
They have families to support.
Yes.
They would have been on lockdown.
Staff to pay. Staff, when you cut hours, you cut staff time.
Yeah. They would have been on lockdown for the past 3 months.
Yes, longer than most sectors, most businesses.
They would have adhered to the guidelines as outlined by the government of the day.
Yes.
They would have lost money. Why you want to reduce the time from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock? Let's hear what our callers are saying this morning. 75. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to you, my friend. How are you?
I'm all right. I was going to make a comment about what you just said there concerning the laws and the criminality. The laws now will not stop what is happening. The only thing to stop this is meeting those criminals head on. We need some good rubber bullets to start with. Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you very much, friend.
It's more about the enforcement of the law and the way it is, in the manner in which it will be done. Here we have so many laws, but the enforcement of the law is where the problem comes in.
And I want to ask a question to one of your favorite persons this morning, Nicole, Gary Griffith. Now, in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a population of 1.4 million people. Could be more, could be less.
Yes.
That's a ballpark figure. Here it is, you have a complement of over 6,500 police officers. The point I am making here this morning, can you at any time, Commissioner of Police, tell me what is the complement of police officers on the ground? My understanding is that a great percentage of these police officers are on leave. For whatever reasons, they are on leave. So at any given time, you have actually on the job, actually on the ground. And I think that one of the problems here is about managing the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Yes, but he has, been calling out officers who have been on leave and stuff like that to get them back into the service and active. But again, it's about the different policies and things that they have in place under law for the police officers, and then he also has to battle with the association.
Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Kenrick, and morning, Ms. Duki.
Good morning.
Good morning, friend. How are you this morning?
Just clear up something for me, please. Did the Attorney General say...
All right, according to the headline, opposition would not have supported more
Not
powers
have supported,
for the
because
PCA.
Yes, because I heard you all saying that they did not support.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was not tested.
That's right.
So he's just speculating.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah. So, well, the headline, Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi said government would not have received opposition support for legislation to give the Police Complaints Authority additional powers. I don't know what evidence he has to make such a comment, but probably he knows what he's talking about. So we move on to our conversation here. Let's take this caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Deborah.
What's happening?
You're so very right. You see, laws don't come on the law book, investigate, apprehend, prosecute, and put people in jail. The system does that. Now, even the police, they are given a shorthand. You ask where the police men are on a daily basis. You go in the courthouse, they line up for it, waiting for matters to call.
Yes.
And after how long, they say, postpone. Why? The system, one case going for 3 years, Kenrick. A police trying to go there every time his case called and do what? So the trial shouldn't last for 3 months in this country. So to begin with, apprehension is bad, detection is bad, prosecution is bad. In the judiciary, you have systems that are not functional. So the whole system is in chaos. You can't talk about laws. You put more laws and you put more back up in the courthouse again. Go and charge people like crazy. You have tens of thousands of new charges we meant to come and adjudicate on. Does that make any sense? I mean, these parties have to stop thinking that they could fool people right time. It's time to get this thing done the right way. More courts, more judges, faster speed trials, and ban them 7 when that they have to face consequences, things will be different.
All right, but would you, no, hold on, before you go, Chris, would you agree with me that the criminal elements outside there, the bad boys, that they are aware of all of the challenges facing the justice system in this country?
Of course, can let me add something that again. There's something that when you go to court, there's something called charges running concurrent. You know what that?
Yes.
Let me tell you what one. Bandit go to court. And the matter he's in court for could give him 2 years in jail. All right. He put on a work and is what? Robbery and 1 or 2 years. Partners, I come with 120,000 $120,000. Where's your work? Now you know, if you get convicted, you make it 2 years. If you go there from 10 work, 10, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 5, 10. And you go to court and you're convicted on 1. Your Honor, I want my mother to be brought before the court. Plead guilty on all 10. So they have plead guilty on all 10. You put as run concurrent, meaning you spend 2 years in jail and you pay for all, not consecutive. You don't have to pay. It's not running consecutive. Two years for every one of them. 2 years for each one, run concurrent, so in 2 years' time you're out of it. So it makes sense to go and commit crime. If you get caught, plead guilty for all and walk.
Okay, let's leave it there, Chris. Yeah. Right. Thank you very much for your contribution.
But Kenrick, if you've been paying attention to, been for quite some time speaking about converting Tower D of the waterfront complex into a suite of civil courts so that you'll free up the magistrates' courts, and they have been adding. Actually, they have added new fleet of a number of magistrates and judges to the judicial system, and also the virtual courts were introduced as well. So maybe in the coming years, once we keep up with that, we will have that issue of having to wait long.
In general, about the setting up of night courts and what have you, but I think an attempt, and I'm just editorializing here. I think a genuine attempt is being made by this administration, more so the Attorney General, to expedite all of these matters before the court. I think a genuine effort is being made. We'll just have to look at see what's happening. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Miss Nicole. What you said, I agree with you. I think the Attorney General here, he making an attempt, but I think the attempt he making, he need a little more important support from, kind of one-man scene. He need to have a little more input from all these stakeholders in charge. That's how I look at it from here. But at the end of the day, too, I think the police service need to have a separate entity of the magistrate or the judge that is required to have that special court system. One side to deal with the police service directly. That's my suggestion there.
All right,
friends. Because the pass through the natural court. Because I mean, sometimes we know. I remember that time I got a traffic ticket. Something happened. No, the traffic ticket was I was down in point, but the sign was a kind of. I think the police were unfair to me because I wasn't familiar with the area and I was quite a new guy. And I said to myself, but I don't know the court system in China as go. I go and fight the ticket. And that case went for nearly about 2 years because we know that the people the criminals deal with this case gonna run, and between the time the case run, and they know that they go make up their money and do what they do to make it they get through.
All right, friend. Well, we thank you. I want to talk something about political grasshoppers. We're going to talk about political grasshoppers when we come back after. Stay with us here. 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Let's go to some commercials.
U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is coming to you, all loyal listeners, and we're bringing goodies too. That's right, the U975 FM family is taking over the streets with our bandwagon, starting this Saturday, 11th July 2020, and continuing throughout the upcoming weeks. Central Trinidad, this is your time. Look out for a 40-foot music trailer of raw power, powered by Randy Beast in Vancouver, then head along the southern main road into Chaguanas. Felicity, you will not be left out. We will be passing through your area, and then we head to Monroe Road, Bokal, and Caroni with a smashing after party.
Sponsored by Balu Engineering Company Limited, Crystal Waters, Petersfield Hardware, Limer's Bar, Pawan Wholesalers, Super Quality Supermarket, Jyoti's Puja Store, Darpan Trading Company Limited, and Darpan Supermarket of Sagre Grande.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM Clock. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the PNM's candidate for the Couva South constituency. As we continue our discussion here with you, you know, it is interesting, Nicole, and I just want to get our listening audience, I want to get their thoughts on this. Here it is, you have Winston Gypsy Peters, who was a minister, a former government minister.
Yes.
Now he has aligned himself with the People's National Movement. You also had
Colin
Partap, who was a minister in a previous administration.
The same administration that Mr. Peters would have been the minister. Yes.
Now throwing his support behind Winston. Interesting. But that's not the end of it. You now have Peter Taylor, a former government minister, who was described by the constituents of Moruga Tablan as a poor representative. He was kicked out. Here it is now, Peter Taylor has thrown his support behind the United National Congress, Michelle Benjamin. And he said, a vote for Dr. Keith Rowley is a vote for Nicolas Maduro. It's time to get rid of the Dr. Rowley administration. It is interesting, Shiva and Nicole, that in one moment, support their policies and what have you. The best thing since sliced bread. But from the time you are booted out, you take a different position. Where is your loyalty? Where is your loyalty? Hence the reason why, Shiva, I usually play on this program, Mighty Chokdas Calypso. The qualification of a good politician. They can watch you in the eye, in your eye rather, and lie, bold-faced lie. They can hug you up in the night and cut you down in the day. Is it any wonder that young people today do not really believe in conventional politics? Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Them aspiring jump ship ex-politicians, their only loyalty is they have the radar pointed at the treasury. They don't have no people interest at heart. They want to get in there and like the friends and family tell them, boy, you're getting now. Now fix yourself, you know. They are nothing but opportunists. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much, my friend, for your contribution with us here this morning as we continue to look at the politics of the day.
It will be interesting to see if any of the members of the United National Congress and replaced by new faces to see whether or not they will remain loyal to the party or whether or not they will decide to jump ship. I mean, we have seen some of them lending their support to, some of the candidates, but there are some who we're yet to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, well, we're still early in the game. We still have a month again, 1 month again.
So it'll be very interesting to see what will happen by now and then.
Let's take this call on the line. Yeah. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, friend.
The score is 94-1. Hear what happened? Did you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello. I'm here with you now. Go ahead.
Right. I'm reading on the papers here, PNM UNC candidates at Central Street. Now I'm watching this fella called Rudy Anderson, but I wish this PNM fella could give me a container way. You know this man telling the people in the constituency, as far as I'm reading here, that the PNM government can give them no funds, the PNM government can give the power corporation.
Not true. All corporations would have been given the necessary funding. They may not have gotten the quantum of which they so desired or required, but they would have been given money. Go ahead.
This man goes telling people the same thing he talked about 5 years. This is my problem. The same thing he said about no work for research, this and the other. Partner, I want to tell you, but I looking through here, you are telling the ex-Chinese workers that they have the land. And the people should, every time that are telling the people that every time that UNC people come on by all you, ask them where is the land situated. I want a lot of land, I mean, that is the only way I'm going to vote for you. That is what the people supposed to be telling them. They take the old talk from these fellas, them. They cannot put a set of people who could support she when she lost the election. According to Rowley, you want observers, I go bring them in to satisfy you because I don't want you to say we keep the election. And we don't want you to bring the UDC for your Lord. So we go bring them in. And simple as that. But these UNC people who she put up, the first thing they're supposed to do when they go there, by an ex-Carney worker, ask them, where is my land? That is all you have to ask them. And tell them, keep going. If you can't tell them where my land is, you keep going.
Me this morning. Well, this is the question that people ought to be asking their outgoing members of parliament, coming to seek your support. What have you done for our constituency? What have you done for our community? How have you improved our community? These are some of the questions. You just look. This is 2020. You just do not follow blindly. You have a thought of your own. It is in front of you. The visual is in front of you. What have you done to improve my community? And if they can give you any, let's say, satisfactory answer, well, then you support them. If not, we'll do otherwise. This is all I have to say. Member of Parliament is there to represent you. They will come to you every 5 years soliciting your vote. ask these questions. These are some of the questions you need to ask. What have you done? Look, even in my very own jurisdiction, I've been making this point for the longest while about using St. Madeleine Pond. It is overgrown with bush, debris, and what have you, and no one has seen it fit to actually address that. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call. You can call us back at 636-7547.
I can't even tell you the last time I saw my member, my outgoing member of parliament.
No, and look, I support no politician and no political party, but I try to look at what is in the best interest of our community, and I've been making this call for the longest while about the state of the using St. Madeleine Pond, and no one has taken it on seriously, none. Hello, good morning, welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you.
About, you see now, where they were walking around trying to solicit your vote. Now is the time. Shine your shoes. See, when they're walking around and the question, what did you do for my community? Look at the road, look at this. Push it on the corporation, and then the corporation excuses, we don't have enough money. But all the big boys getting paid, you know. Why they don't stay home for a little bit and say, we have no money, we got to suspend operation? They won't do that. They want their money. That's all it is about. So when these aspiring politicians come up the road by you, ask them the questions, and if they can't give you good answers, chase the hell out of them out of your yard. Thank you.
All right, friend. Well, thank you very much for your contribution with us this morning.
That's some of the responses that people, some of these politicians get when they visit people. It's away because you know why? People are not happy, and they were not happy with even, from maybe their last MP, or even the same person might be going back up for the election, and they would not be happy because that's the only time they would see these people during the election time. After that, you don't see them, you don't hear them.
Nicole, I think it was this week you did a man on the street poll.
Yes.
Right. Remind the listening audience as to what are the sentiments, what are the views being expressed by some of these people.
Okay, so the persons on the street here, and we actually interviewed persons in the Couva area, and they were not happy with their member of parliament, actually both members of parliament for Couva North and Couva South, and they are telling us they are not going to vote. They do not want to vote because when they vote, they're not, and that they
Just to emphasize, when you walk to the market,
yes,
and you look at the side of the roads, for some reason or the other, I just cannot understand. The drains will be cleaned occasionally, and all of the debris will be dumped at the side of the drain. When it rains, all of this debris gets back into the drain again. So what's the point?
And the thing is that we actually spoke to, at the market, there are some hot sweats vendors selling food. And we spoke to some of the food vendors, and they were saying that the issue is the drain to the back of the huts it's not being clean and properly kept. And then when rain falls, all these different things, it affects them.
Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good.
What the word rate is?
Rate?
Yeah.
Never heard of.
No.
The word rate is that they say the same thing over and over.
You mean that is our politician, yes?
No, yes. Because you just touched on a point about the cleaning the drain, putting the rubbish on the side, not picking it up the same day, and the rubbish going back in the drain.
Yes, once the rain falls.
You understand? And that has been happening since I was a little boy. And we're talking about donkey years now. You understand? So there is no proper planning by the powers that be to execute a good work program. You know? So come elect government come, government go, the work attitude remains the same. People are still work from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock in this country and get a full day's pay. You understand? Yeah, I mean, yes, the work is hard, but now you have a more technical point. Long time you use cutlass, now you using waka and all them kind of things. Anyhow, CPL, it's here.
All right, but Bawani, you need to call us back because you're heading up to the 7 o'clock news hour. And we'll take your call after the 7 o'clock hour, okay?
I will try.
Yeah, stay with us here. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. We up to the 7 o'clock news on 975 with Nicole Duke.
Hang up.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Shake Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Nicole Duki. Good morning. Opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissassa has defended her new slate of candidates for the 2020 general elections. Last Sunday, the party released the names of its 41 candidates. Some of its incumbent members of parliament were not on the list of candidates. Instead, they were replaced by new faces. However, some persons expressed their disappointment. Mrs. Persad-Bissassa addressed this issue at a virtual meeting last night.
I saw someone saying that the UNC team is kindergarten children. In an attempt to downplay and disrespect the young people of our land. It shows they have people, and whilst we are working on developing young people, bringing their talent forward, I don't know if it is that their team may be called geriatrics, but I think that everyone who is willing to serve should be given that opportunity.
Mrs. Persad-Bissassa took the opportunity to thank her outgoing members of parliament for their service.
MPs of all support the party in our campaign and as we go forward to get TNT working again. Thanks to all the MPs who have served, some for 10 years, some for 5 years, and others for even more than that.
The opposition leader said her team of candidates represents the diversity of Trinidad and Tobago.
You will soon have the chance to vote for a team and a leader who can take our country forward. Last Sunday, we announced our candidates for the general election. You will find in this team a mix of the young and the not so young. This team, experienced ones and those who are ready and eager to learn. You will see the beauty of our land and the diversity of the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
The election race is heating up in the marginal constituency of Moruga Tabelland. This, as a former member of parliament under the People's National Movement, is pledging his support for the United National Congress. Attorney Peter Taylor was the Member of Parliament for Moruga Tabelland during the 2007-2010 PNM administration. In 2010, Clifton Decoto won the seat under the People's Partnership, and then in 2015, Dr. Level Francis brought the seat back home for the PNM. National Congress formally opened its Moruga Tabelland constituency office with a massive motorcade in the constituency. Prospective candidate Michelle Benjamin got the support of the UNC leader Kamla Persad-Bissassa, former PP MP Clifton Decoto, as well as the former PNM MP Peter Taylor, of Legal Affairs under the PNM's regime. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has invited foreign observers to monitor the August 10th general election. The Prime Minister sent letters to the CARICOM and the Commonwealth Secretary General on Thursday. The letter formally invites both parties to send election observer missions to Tobago's process and operations in the upcoming parliamentary elections. On Wednesday, political leader of the United National Congress, Kamla Persad-Bissassa, said she sent a letter to the Prime Minister urging him to invite international observer teams. She said this will ensure the election is conducted in a free, fair and just manner that will reflect the true mandate of the people. Cabinet has granted approval for the acquisition of a further 12 properties in Tobago. The properties are being acquired for the construction of the new airport terminal. This comes from Minister in conjunction with Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Ansel Dennis. 41 property owners have negotiated and settled thus far. This was done at a cost of $58 million. The National Infrastructure 48 hours to respond to a demand from the Barkeepers and Operators Association. They are calling for a revision in operating hours as it relates to COVID-19 public health guidelines. The operating hours for bars across the country were recently cut down. They are now allowed to open between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 was gathered outside the office of the Prime Minister on Thursday morning in a peaceful protest. They said it's unfair to have decreased operating hours while restaurants are allowed business activity until 10 p.m. You're listening to the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's time now to take a look at regional and international developments. We start with news from the region. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley has said her government is considering letting visitors stay and work remotely from the island for a year. Mottley said lawmakers are looking to introduce. Barbados is set to start welcoming travelers from July 12th. Mottley said that in order to attract visitors, what Barbados has to offer had to be world-class. Tourism directly accounts for 12% of Barbados' gross domestic product and indirectly for 40% of its economic activity. In international news, Democratic presidential contender Joe Biden has laid out his rescue plan for the coronavirus-crippled United States, rating President Donald Trump as incompetent. Mr. Biden has said his $700 billion plan would be the biggest investment in the U.S. economy since World War II. The Build Back Together agenda, he said, will spur a manufacturing and technology jobs boom. The Trump campaign responded that the plan will inflict catastrophe. But Mr. Biden is all about guaranteed to face off Mr. Trump in this November's presidential election. In news of the weather, for the period this morning until tonight, Trinidad will be partly cloudy, accompanied by showers, some heavy at South Trinidad from morning, gradually drifting northward and enveloping the rest of the island by afternoon. There is a 40% chance of a few thunderstorms, particularly over the southern half of Trinidad. Conditions will settle by nightfall. However, cloudiness and showers will increase again by early morning. Gusty winds, street and flash flooding are likely in areas of heavy showers and thunderstorms. Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles and breezy conditions are expected with a light shower at times. Night will be fair, however, a few showers are likely after midnight. Seas are moderate with waves 1.5 to 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas, 27 degrees Celsius. And this brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. newscast on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Stay tuned for another newscast at 8 a.m. I am Nicole Dookie. Good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Foundation to finish, not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section and steel. Customers, prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shikleisha 6 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shikleisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper pepper, multi you, all loyal listeners, and we're bringing goodies too. That's right. The U975 FM family is taking over the streets with our bandwagon. Starting this Saturday, 11th July 2020, and continuing throughout the upcoming weeks. Central Trinidad, this is your time for the music trailer of Raw Power, powered by Randy B Sound Company. Passing in your area, we start in Couva, Main Road into Chaguanas. Felicity, you will not be left out. We will be passing through your area, and then we head to Monroe Road, Bokal, and Caroni with a smashing after party.
Sponsored by Balu Engineering Company Limited.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNA, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School. I want to use my years as a businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
Well, just about 14 minutes here, PDC of Mr. Satish Ramprasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the Couva North constituency. Well, as we continue with our discussion here on the 975, on the line with me this morning is the Vice President of the Bar Operators Association of Trinidad and Tobago. He is Mr. Satish Munisa, and yesterday, of course, the association would have stayed /picketing outside the office of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley at Whitehall, calling on the government of the day to revisit this decision to reduce the hours for bar operators. Let's say a very special good morning to Mr. Munisa this morning. Good morning, Mr. Munisa, and thanks for taking our call this morning. Good morning. It's a very challenging time for bar operators in this country, given the fact that you would have, when I say you are talking about your members, would have sacrificed much within the last 3 months. And when the decision was taken to lift the restrictions on bar owners, you would have felt some sort of relief and comfort. But this decision taken by the government of the day to now reduce the hours from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock most certainly is having an impact on you. Share your thoughts with us.
Yes, well, on behalf of the association, we are cognizant of the fact that there is a pandemic by the name of COVID-19. And it has, we know it has all sectors of the society around the world. But we have to go through the hardship as well as all other businesses. When we are allowed to open, we were grateful that we are allowed to do our business. But what has happened in recent times, with the time change from 10 to 8, we believe that we are being unfairly treated. Due to the fact that some parts of the industries, which is the holders of restaurant license and spirit retailer special restaurant license, are allowed to open till 10, while parts of the industry who are the holders of spirit retailers license are allowed to open till 8. Now, we believe that is unfair. In our industry, certain individual bars sparked the government to make this change. And those entities are holders of the special restaurant license. So they are unaffected by what actually transpired.
Well, having outlined that, what are your suggestions to bring some sort of sanity into the situation?
Well, we have sent letters to the present administration on numerous occasions to the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, Minister of Health, to have some form of dialogue with us to pertaining to the industry, so we could come to some sort of resolution there. And we have been met with no response, absolutely, with no other alternative but to seek legal action in order to get our voices heard, also with the city. So all we are asking for is to have some sort of dialogue, so we could come to some reasonable conclusion on what it is that is necessary. Now, the government has put in guidelines, which we have also sent our recommendations to the government pertaining to the COVID-19 guidelines. Majority of us listening to the guidelines, following the guidelines. We did what is necessary at our business places to let this happen. Now, a couple entities did not listen to the COVID-19 guidelines, but you cannot punish the entire industry for the actions of a few. And that is the point that we're trying. Or one or two business places did not listen to the COVID-19 guidelines. Then you have to deal with those particular entities. You cannot just broad brush it across the entire industry.
And ensuring that these entities operate within the guidelines of the Ministry of Health. Share thoughts.
Yes, that is true as well too. Because one of the videos that went out that sparked the change in the time was an establishment in Barataria. Now the video was outside the person's establishment. That was on the. We don't have control of what happens on the road. That is the job of the TTPS. We cannot disperse persons from the road. So we need to work and partner with the TTPS in order to get this right.
All right, Mr. Munisa, walk us through this where you stated that your membership would have lost a tremendous amount of money given the lockdown. You challenged now with the limited time you have to pay staff and to pay other bills. What's your take on this?
Okay, at present, with the limit, we have been closed for over 3 months. That has took a tremendous toll on us. Our bills continue to come, our light bills, everything. Restricted times, although we are allowed to operate, we still have bills. Now, majority of the sector are persons that rent their bars. So we have rent to pay, we have staff to pay, we have light bill to pay, we have a whole lot of bills. And with the restricted times, it is very difficult to keep up with these bills. Now, the timing from 8 to 10 is peak hours in the bar business. So when you restrict when you take away those peak hours, it makes it even more difficult for you to keep up with your bills. So you are leaving the bar owners with basically no choice than to cut back on staff and create more unemployment.
In dealing with this aspect of your challenge, are you calling on the government of the day for
I didn't get the question.
All right. I'm saying that given the fact that you would have lost money within the last 3 months, and with the curtailing of time, the reduction of time, you complain that you are still losing money, and it is quite challenging for you, when I say you, your membership, to meet their expenses. Are you calling on the government of the day for some sort of relaxation in terms of money for licenses and what have you?
Yeah, well, for instance, that's another topic as well too. We in the process of renewing our licenses. And as soon as your license is renewed, your gaming tax for your amusement machines in your business are due to, because we have been closed for 4 months out of the year. They are taking the full amount for your license, and they are expecting you to pay the full amount on your gaming taxes. If you are closed for a substantial amount of the year, how is it possible for you to pay the entire year's tax? That is not feasible, and it is unfair to the bar owners. What we are calling on the authorities to do, to assist the bar owners at this point in time, is for a waiver of the taxes at least for this year, so that we can try to weather the storm and put our business back into order.
All right, my colleague Nicole Duki has a question for you.
Okay, good morning again, Mr. Munisa. The bulk of your customers are there usually between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Would your association support a later opening and closing time?
Later opening and closing time?
Yeah. So let's just say, for example, you open maybe, if they restrict the times from probably 12 to 12, so 12 midday to 12 midnight, or if they go further and, they do it with like I said, later opening and closing times.
Now, within the industry, there are in different areas, there are different times that bars normally have their full.
Right.
Now, there are some bars like that are close to certain ports of the cars come up early, would need the early hour morning. Right. And they would not go late. Vice versa, there are bars that open late in the evening and need the evening hours in order to operate. So to say that we would ask for less time in the morning and more time in the evening is kind of unfair to certain things, because it does not apply across the board.
Understood.
Right, so what we asking to go back to our normal times, but at the same time, we are asking the government to have some sort of dialogue with us, so we can represent the industry in the proper way to come up to some sort of compromise pertaining to the time, because to take away hours in the morning, likewise taking away the hours in.
All right. And I'm seeing here that the association has given the Attorney General 48 hours to respond to the fact that you all would want him to revise the operating hours. After 48 hours, if the Attorney General doesn't respond, what can we see happening next from the association?
Well, the pre-action protocol letter was for 48 hours, and we asking and pleading with the government to respond and have some sort of dialogue with us. And if it doesn't happen so well, then we would have no other choice but to follow through with the with our day in court.
All right, Mr. Muniz, how challenging it is for you and your members these guidelines? Because I myself, I love to visit watering holes, and I would see a number of patrons not adhering to the rules in your business place. That is to say, you have to put the necessary blinds and what have you, hand sanitizers, people are wearing masks and so on. So how challenging is that for you?
Well, everything is a challenge based on at your location. Takes a substantial investment, but we also know that the investment is needed because of the times, because of the pandemic is. So our membership are willing and have done what is necessary in order to keep up with the guidelines set by the Ministry of Health. But what we are saying is the actions of a few cannot affect the entire industry. If a few of the bars are seen breaking the guidelines, the authorities, there are things in place for the authorities to do to intervene and deal with that particular entity. You cannot brush it across the entire.
Are you of the view that the authorities are treating you harshly, and that is to say that they do not consider quote-unquote bar owners, operators as quote-unquote businesses?
Based on the actions that we are seeing, that is a feeling that has arisen amongst our membership. And you see it pretty glaringly, is that ask for dialogue, and you do not acknowledge us in any which way or form. And there's no other conclusion that somebody could probably put into their mind.
All right, Mr. Nicole, you expect that the court will, let's say, take comfort with your argument. What are you expecting?
Yes, we expect that based on
sometime in the future.
And all the best to you and the association.
We wish you all the best in this as you continue to take on the government of the land they would have taken to reduce the time for bar operators. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us here this morning.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, that's the voice there of Satish Munisa, who is the Vice President of the Bar Owners Operators Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Taking issue with the government's decision to reduce this clock until 8 o'clock. He lamented the loss of challenging it is for bar owners, operators to keep their head above water. It's a matter which is engaging the national public, and as I said, the matter is now heading to the court. He argued that they are law-abiding citizens just trying, after 3 months, to put food on the table, to pay their bills, and to keep their businesses alive. We'll continue to monitor this story, this matter. Let's go to some commercial break this morning. It's just about 29 minutes here past the hour of 7 o'clock. Note that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the Couva South constituency. Let's hear a bit more from him.
Rampasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education in school, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
Twice a week, only in your Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Now you really can look forward to staying home. Newsday, independent and credible.
Visit limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited, our Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
Let's talk Guyana. Join us as we share news and issues coming out of Guyana, Mondays to Fridays at 11 a.m. right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is coming to you, all loyal listeners, and we're bringing goodies too. That's right, the U975 FM family is taking over the streets with starting this Saturday, 11th July 2020, and continuing weeks. Central Trinidad, this is your time. Look out for a 40-foot music trailer of raw power, powered by Randy B Sound Company, passing in your area. We start in Couva, then head along the southern main road into Chaguanas. Felicity, you will not be left out. We will be passing through your area, and then we head to Monroe Road, Bokal, and Caroni with a smashing after party.
Sponsored by Balu Engineering Company Limited, Crystal Waters, Petersfield Hardware, Limer's Bar, Pawan Wholesalers, Super Quality Supermarket, Jyoti's Puja Store, Daupan Trading Company Limited, and Sangre Grande.
This is Samaru Ramru inviting you on a journey down memory lane with enchanting songs on the program Nightline. Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Let your heart sing along with the music on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. We're moving up to the hour of 8 o'clock, just about to the hour of 8, and that time check came to you to the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the Couva South constituency. Yes, I note that you can call us at 636-7547, 227-5739. Those numbers again, 636-7547, 227-5739. You can also catch us live on Facebook at RCLU975. And yes, you can also 975radio.com. You're with the morning program, the most interactive morning program on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago, with yours truly, Kenrick Dragonaut, and yes, Nicole Dukes. You are invited to be part of our first road show. It's on tomorrow. Yes, from our studio here in Couva in Central Trinidad. Those of you who wish to be part of this event, well, you are asked to come down to our studio here at our location, Couva, in Couva, to be part of this exercise. You're asked to be here from around 8 o'clock in the morning. And if you want to reserve a seat on our maxi taxi, well, then you need to call us at 769-6538. That's 6538 to reserve your seat. There'll be a number of giveaways come with your family, come with your friends, and be part of this, our very first road show for the year. And you can look out for the stables of 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Note that just after the 8 o'clock hour, I'll be chatting with Mr. Philip Alexander. He is one of the leaders, or rather the leader of the Progressive People's Empowerment Party. That is Progressive Empowerment Party. That interview is coming up just after the 8 o'clock hour. All right, so we continue to issues of the day. And Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley would have invited international observers for the 2020 general election. This call was made by Kamla Prasad Bissessa. The Movement for Social Justice, well, I think it was last week we spoke to the political leader of the MSJ, and he would have indicated that the party is prepared to contest more than 4 seats in this upcoming general election. Well, the party has announced that they will be contesting some other seats. Mr. Abdullah have not identified some of these seats as yet, but we'll try to get in touch with him probably sometime next week to get his thoughts on the politics of Trinidad and Tobago, more so the general election of 20. So various candidates are continuing their walkabouts in various jurisdictions. United National Congress candidate for the Tabaquite constituency, she will be coming up against the PNM's Michael Sales. Well, she has already started her walkabouts and her campaign and so on. Yesterday I spoke to one of our activists, and he said that they are very encouraged and very enthused by what they would have seen on the ground thus far.
Candidates on the ground, and you know the seat that everybody is going to be looking at, where we have 5 persons contesting the St. Augustine seat. A little later we're going to speak to Mr.
Hi,
good morning, friend. How are you?
You're dealing with just now with the political, we call them grasshoppers. Yeah, but how I view that, if at some point in time you see fit to support a particular party, and you should do it in a way you have any recognition, tell them, you know, as they cease to support them. I mean, because what I observe here is we had a man that was a minister and another he was always a PNM. So these fellas, I mean, they're really joking. But at the end of the day, what I see here...
No, hold on. You said these fellas really jokey, yes? Yes, they are jokers. A pack of jokers they are.
Well, by what I see, they're no jokers, Mr. Kenrick. The scene where they get a chance to make a buck.
Oh, they're looking to eat.
They jump the suit.
They're looking to eat our food.
The challenge I have here with this campaign, right? You know, this time is so short. The candidates don't really have any much walking about time. Walking about and saying nothing much. At the end of the day, is wherever the parties, the two main political parties are strong in certain areas.
Well,
right? Then you have the balance, the marginal seats, right? So what we need to hear the constituency right now is what have to improve the representation over the other MP that was there, or the MP that is here. What plan do and that what are not hearing?
My friend, let me engage you a bit. As these candidates engage in their various walkabouts, I can be certain that this is the first time some of these constituents will be seeing their candidates.
Yeah, because that's why I say, because at the end of the day, because right now, as far as I am aware, up in Tableland, New Grant up here, I see Gypsy. We have no number, we get in contact with Gypsy, you know. Miss Benjamin, I have 2 numbers to get in contact with her. But Gypsy, I thought Gypsy would have been using Mrs. located at we have called the road Dr. Road, Princetown. There's Matilda Junction there, right? But I ain't see no signs that Gypsy I know base office. I don't know how can we start the correct. Somebody could call and say what I'm looking for a base office for him. I mean, that is natural. I mean, you know, that is fair for us to have our office where we could find, you know, some number or something. So we just passing through, and I don't know. So what?
It will be quite challenging for these political parties and most of the candidates to engage various communities, you know, and I'm sure that you, the listening audience, would agree with me. Hence, I'm of the view that one of the better ways to encourage people to support you in the 2020 general election is to hold what you call cottage meetings, but know that you cannot have more than 25 people at these. It's one of the better ways to engage your constituents so to speak, to alert them as to what are your plans in terms of short-term goals and long-term goals. That's one of the way, cottage meetings, because I do not that's a no-no at this time. That certainly is a no-no at this time. Let's take a call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call, my friend. You need to call us back, 636-7547, 227-5739. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning. No, I'm being quite honest. Given the COVID pandemic and all of these restrictions, one of the better ways to reach out to your constituents is to have cottage meetings, yes?
I thought that is what they're doing, but some of them can't have no cottage meetings. They can't go in the street with the people again.
Why?
That is the whole problem, so they can't have no cottage meeting. They might stand by a rum shop in the road and call about security. They really can't go. In some streets, some of the politicians can't go. They can't even walk in the street. They can't go in the street. So, but your advice is very good. But according to the opposition leader here, she's telling them that there's a mixture. And you know, ask a question, simple question. Rodney Charles, what is it that he could do anything for anybody, and he could try to talk in Parliament? What you have him doing there? Right is then he will make it around Wendy Francis. She will be the next mayor, she'll go now. Because that is how she ended up in Philly, the governor representative. He's the one, his big advisor to Kamala Party. So that is how the whole thing on it. He advised, so she is all the party on it right now.
All right, friend. Well, thank you very much for your contribution. That time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva North. We need to take a commercial break at this time. When we come back, we'll continue with our discussion. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us here.
Jyoti's Puja Store is your one staff with best prices and secured parking. Jyoti's Puja Store located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, Shigwanas. Contact 679.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe RCL U97.5.
It is back. Talk to Mukesh Babu. I'm inviting you to join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together. So join me for Talk Your Talk.
It's Yummy Tummy Time with Ermi. Join me Mondays to Fridays at 9:30 a.m. and get tasty and exciting.
U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is coming to you, all loyal listeners, and we're bringing goodies too. That's right, the Unite family is taking over the streets with our bandwagon. Starting this Saturday, 11th June, continuing throughout the upcoming weeks. Central Trinidad, this is your time. Look out for a 40-foot music trailer of raw power, powered by Randy D Sound Company, passing in your area. We start in Couva, then head along and Caroni with a smashing after party.
Sponsored by Balloon Engineering Company Limited, Crystal Waters, Petersfield Hardware, Limer's Bar, Power Wholesalers, Super Quality Supermarket, Jyoti's Pen Trading Company Limited, and Darpan Supermarket of Sagri Grande.
You will be transported to and from the venue meaning the last stop which we'll be making. Yes, so you can be part of this event. Seat on our maxi taxi. Well, then you can call 769-6538. That number 769-6538. There'll be for this exercise. You'll meet and greet all of us here at 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. It's our road show on tomorrow. So look out for our big truck. Yes, for the truck will be rolling into your community. That's the communities in Central Trinidad. Good morning, people. Good morning, and thanks for staying with us here at 975. You know, Nicole, you must know an election is in the air.
Definitely.
But 2 weeks ago, the Member of Parliament for San Fernando West, Faris Al-Rari, together with Ruhan Sinanan and other top government officials would have turned the sod. Mind you, my contention here is the timing, would have turned the sod is equipment. Yes, construction equipment would have rolled into Lady Fisher folk in San Fernando. He's saying this is, you see, this is just pure mama guy and political gimmickry. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning. All right, my friend, I'm sorry to have missed your call, but you can call us back 636-7547-227-5739.
Kenrick, but I think you're moving away from the real discussion this morning.
Which is?
I am already Facebook critics asking questions if you're opening the borders for these cricketers to come in, and of course there's technical staff and all these different things. How come you're not opening the borders for our nationals?
Two things happening here. Let's say absorbing all of the cost in hosting these, let's say, over 200 people. Players, support staff,
yes,
administrative staff at the Hilton Hotel. Bringing in nationals into this country would require the Trinidad and Tobago government having to charter a flight to various jurisdictions to bring back these people here. You'll have to put them in quarantine at a cost. Who is paying that cost? CPL or the Trinidad and Tobago government?
The Trinidad and Tobago government, Kenrick, but yet still, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, some persons, while some may understand and they would understand your point, there are those who will not see it. All they will see is the fact that they are opening the borders to allow persons from other countries into this country, while they wouldn't open the borders to allow our nationals. Now, I'm not saying, yes, open the borders and make it a free flow for everybody. However, maybe, in the eyes of some persons, is that they need to step up in the manner in which they're handling the situation with our nationals, because just yesterday I saw another letter from a group of citizens in the United Kingdom appealing to the Minister of National Security to let them come back home. It's a tricky situation because I do agree with the fact that they have to bring these people in by batches so that it would not overwhelm the parallel healthcare system. But at the same time, persons would not see it that way. All they would see is the fact that they're allowing other persons to come into the country.
How I know that this argument will be brought to the program this morning. News broke that Caribbean Premier League will be held in Trinidad and Tobago. I said to myself, my God, people will talk about preferential treatment and about favoritism and what have you. This is a business. This is a business entity.
Yes,
it's a business entity. One must look at the cost. You cannot make this. You cannot make a decision based on emotion. You have to look at what is in the best interest of the country. What is in the best interest of the country right now is generating revenue.
Understood.
Ensuring that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are protected. Ensure that we do not have a rising case of coronavirus in Trinidad and Tobago.
Understood.
These players, look. There are still a number of grey matters here concerning the CPL. And let me ask a question of CPL. I welcome the CPL.
Yes.
But I also, I'm not comforted by the fact that you will not have spectators.
And that's the other thing. So then I'm going to ask the next question. How much money would be generated and how much losses would incur as a result of not having spectators? I mean, it's not just spectators. What about the street every year so that they can sell their little corn soup and all these different bandanas, flyers, all these different things?
I agree with you to that extent, but one must take into consideration too, it's about protecting the people of Trinidad and Tobago, protecting the people of Trinidad and Tobago. CPL, as I said, is a business entity. You will have endorsement.
Yes.
Businesses continue to advertise. It will be carried live on television throughout the globe. So business people have this opportunity now to make money with vendors and spectators and so on. I am of the view that if the game is being held without spectators, it would be watered down. That's my humble view.
That's how much interest persons would have because now I personally only went to one game that's last year in like the history of CPL sometime last week or so. I said, Kenrick, when I got there, I didn't even know what was going on in the game because it was a carnival-like atmosphere, and I couldn't even see what was going on the pitch.
So look, hold on. You have to strike the balance.
Yeah.
It's the biggest party in sport. That's how this league is promoted. The biggest party in sport. Given the COVID-19 pandemic, all cricketing, let's say, or sporting organization or sporting events would have taken a hit.
Yes.
The government of the day would have had to weigh this to rather to give the blessings for the CPL.
Yes.
Okay, but this is a very it's a topic which I love to talk about. I give you the assurance that next week, either Monday or Tuesday,
yes,
I will talk to Umar Khan,
right,
who is the manager of the Guyana Amazon Warriors, and he's very much interested and very much in tune and enthused about the Caribbean Premier League. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Kenrick, and morning to your co-host.
Good morning, my friend, Mr. Eli.
Kenrick, I'm very disappointed that the government allowing this cricket to take place. This is a disaster waiting to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason they fit to go out and hold this tournament here.
Mm-hmm.
You have players coming all over the world, Australia, New Zealand, Afghanistan, players coming from all to play cricket in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What were they trying to prove to the world? Every tournament, every sport event shut down, cancelled all over the world. With $1 billion industry. This CPL, ever since it started, they is losing money like madness here. You bring in 100 players into Trinidad and Tobago.
No, it's about 200 people.
200 people that needs to be quarantined. 200 people that need to be tested.
Right. So you all the time Trinidad and Tobago all over the world, they can't come home.
Well, no, hold on.
A tournament.
By the government was taken when they looked at what is happening in England with the West Indies coming up against England in that first test. The game is being played minus spectators. A lot of guidelines have been instituted. So the West Indies series or this first game was a yardstick or a barometer to gauge how the competition, or how rather the league can be, held in Trinidad and Tobago. I think they would have used that as a yardstick.
You talk about some 20-something games going on playing Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
No crowd, nothing. You just had to watch the TV. So why the rest of the Caribbean can't stand?
No, hold on. If you are saying that the game should be held in other Caribbean territories, there would be a number have to now get into a country where players again will have to be quarantined, and you cannot quarantine. You cannot quarantine a player for 14 days in one jurisdiction and then ask that player to be quarantined in another jurisdiction. My understanding is that these players will be subjected to stringent testing. 7 days.
A man leave went to a funeral and had to go into quarantine.
Well, no, that you're talking about Phil Simmons.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's all kind of thing. Example now, the observers now coming in 2 weeks before the election.
All right, hold on.
At the cost of the state.
That will be my poll question come next week.
Yeah.
The poll question next week. I want you to think about it and tell your friends and so on. Do you think that it's appropriate for the government of the day, given the COVID-19, the COVID pandemic, that the CPL should be hosted in Trinidad and Tobago? Share your views with me.
All right. Well, next week then. What, Friday?
No, Monday. My discussion with Umar Khan. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to bounce with you tomorrow.
Oh, you're coming on, right? Make sure you bring all your family.
Any stopping in Monroe Road?
Yes.
So
bring the entire family.
And don't come with your hands swinging, eh?
Yes. Water.
All right, my friend. All right. Thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. Yes, note, folks, that tomorrow is our first road show. We have been planning this for the longest while, but given the COVID-19 pandemic, we would have had to shelve these plans for a little while. But it's on tomorrow, our very first road show. You're invited to be part of this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
And good morning, Nicole.
Good morning.
I just have one set CPL stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Reprehensible.
Mm-hmm.
All the best. Talk more next week.
Okay then. All right. Well, I know that there will be a number of people who will be quite critical of the government of the day, but as a sports fan myself, one who would have played cricket at a certain level,
yes,
I welcome the CPL into Trinidad and Tobago,
yes,
but I'm hoping that all of the guidelines are adhered to, because people can only talk about they will do so, and nothing happens after a while.
But can I have a question to ask you? Being out there and being in the field, what good is a cricket game without spectators?
Well, I said the spectators motivates you,
Exactly. So then what will happen?
When I go to play cricket and I see lovely ladies, it gives me greater enthusiasm to perform.
Yeah.
And I use it with performer.
Would Ali Khan be with the TKR?
Yes.
So
Mohammed
this is
Ali
a
Khan.
big disappointment to the ladies of
To
Trinidad
the
and
ladies,
Tobago.
yeah. But you can look at him on television, yes?
I think he looks better on television though.
yes. Anyway, folks, stay with us. That's the thing about women, you know. You'll go to Shiva, you'll go to cricket at the Queen's Park Oval
So watch Ali
and
Khan.
the Brian Lara cricket. Some of these women do not have a clue as to what is happening in the game. They don't have a clue. But the exuberance and the enthusiasm, the romance is there with them. But they don't have a clue as to exactly what is going on.
I would be one of those that don't have a clue.
Anyway, stay with us here, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, just engaging in some old talk here with Nicole this morning. We up to the 8 o'clock newscast with Uma Ratan Singh. Stay with us here.
FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
The news to the hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the 8 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Uma Ratan Singh. Good morning. Opposition leader Kamla Persad Bissessar has defended her new slate of candidates for the 2020 general elections. Last Sunday, the names of 41 candidates, but some of its incumbent members of parliament were not on the list. Instead, they were replaced by new faces. However, some persons expressed their disappointment,
saying that the UNC team is kindergarten children. In an attempt to downplay and disrespect the young people of our land. It shows they have no respect for young people. And whilst we are working on developing young people, bringing their talent forward, I don't know if it is that their team may be called geriatrics, but I think that everyone to serve should be given that opportunity.
Mrs. Persad Bissessar took the opportunity to thank her outgoing members of parliament for their service.
Thank the outgoing MPs who have all pledged to continue to support the party in our campaign and as we go working again. Thanks to all the MPs who have served, some for 10 years, some for 5 years, and others for even more than that.
The opposition diversity of Trinidad and Tobago.
The chance to vote for a team and a leader who can take our country forward. Last Sunday, we announced our candidates for the general election. You will find in this team a mix of the young and the not so young. You will find in this team experienced ones and learn. You will see the beauty of our land and the diversity of the people.
The voice of UNC leader Kamla Persad Bissessar. PNM's candidate for Chaguanas East, Clarence Chaguanas East constituency of Enterprise, that they are expected to get tenure for the land they are occupying. This promise comes from the interview on Wednesday when his campaign bandwagon ruled approximately 200 acres. As the UNC has questions about the elections observers for the 2020 elections, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has written to the CARICOM to invite election observers to the 2020 general elections. This, according to a press release from the Office of the Prime Minister. Dr. Rowley has written to CARICOM Secretary General and the Honourable Patricia Scotland, Queen's Counsel, Commonwealth Secretary General, invites both parties to send election observation missions under its guidance to observe Trinidad and Tobago's processes and operations in the upcoming parliamentary election, which will be held on August 10th. A 43-year-old Princestown man has been charged by the Child Protection Unit officers with the sexual touching of a 7-year-old girl. According to a police report, the 7-year-old female victim reported the matter to the CPU Southern Division. The man was held and scheduled to appear virtually at the Princestown Magistrates Court yesterday. Ammunition during an anti-crime exercise yesterday morning. Reports indicate that officers executed a search warrant at the home of the male and female suspects of Cool Braintrace Arima, where they found and seized one Beretta 9mm pistol and 13 rounds of 9mm ammunition. The suspects were arrested and taken to the Arima police station. Investigations are ongoing in this matter. As missing persons continue in our society, yet another person has gone missing. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is seeking in finding 15 years. Jaden of Picton Road, Laventille, was last seen on July 6th and was reported. The TTPS is asking anyone with information to kindly contact 999-555-911, any police station, 800 tips, or share it via the TTPS app. Regionally, Aruba is now officially open for travelers from the United States and an initial relaunch for visitors from neighboring Caribbean countries. In light of the recent COVID-19 spikes in certain U.S. states, Aruba said it will be requiring travelers residing in 24 U.S. states test within 72 hours prior to departure as part of a required online embarkation and disembarkation form. And internationally, travelers arriving in the UK from dozens of countries no longer have to self-isolate for 2 weeks. Relaxed for arrivals from more than 70 countries and British overseas territories. And top United States disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci has said some states in the country reopened too fast, which has put the country in a very difficult and challenging period now. It comes as the U.S. posted another record rise in cases of 5,024 hours, according to Johns Hopkins University. And globally, there are now 12.2 million cases and more than 550,000 deaths due to the coronavirus pandemic. And on to today will be cloudy to overcast with some heavy showers at times in varying localities. Maximum temperature is 30 degrees. High tides at 8:14 p.m. Low tides at 1:39 p.m. And that brings us to the end of the news to 8 a.m. Join us at 10 a.m. for a news update. I am Irma Rattan Singh wishing you a
Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, 53336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. For all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited. Located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood and galvanized pipe, hollow section and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. Take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, super and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is coming to you, all loyal listeners, and we're bringing goodies too. That's right, the U975 FM family is taking over the streets with our bandwagon, starting July 2020 and continuing throughout the upcoming weeks. Central Trinidad, this is your time. Look out for a 40-foot music trailer of raw power, powered by Randy B Sound Company, passing in your area. We start in Couva, then head along the southern main road into Chaguanas. Felicity, you will doubt, we will be passing through your area. And then we head to Monroe Road, Bokal, and Caroni with a smashing after party.
Sponsored by Balu Engineering Company Limited, Crystal Waters, Petersfield Hardware, Limer's Bar, Pawan Wholesalers, Super Quality Supermarket, Jyoti's Puja Store, Daupan Trading Company Limited, and Daupan Super.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to appoint leases, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva, Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM Hot Like. That's the hour of 8 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad. Yes, he is the People's National Movement candidate for the Couva South constituency. And yesterday, we would have had a brief interview with him right here on 975, where he said he is the right choice for a better Couva South.
Yes. And one of his first order of business will be to ensure that the ex-Caroni workers get what is
outlined some of his immediate plans for Couva South.
Yes.
Improvement to the Couva market, roads,
dual
drains, and so on.
The Rivulet Road.
Right. So he spoke to us about a number of issues yesterday, even his plans for reduction of crime and a number of other pertaining matters facing the constituents of Couva South. So, Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad, your Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Well,
you're not. You listen to your wrong radio station, boy. I tell all your friends and family, listen to us.
No, boy, I studied when you were getting interviewed with I love that, but if I was living on that area, he would have surely be getting my food.
Who's that? So, what constituency you calling from?
Chaguanas West, this whole heart gets
Chaguanas West. So, your candidate is Dinesh
Rambali.
Dinesh Rambali.
Rambali?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dinesh Rambali. We get some kind of candidate down here. We don't even know if they living here, if they're from here, where they're from. I don't know. I really. The only man I know for the PNM is to be down here and he came all the time was Avinash Singh.
Avinash Singh. Well, he's now my friend.
Hello,
Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
No, again, Ken.
Yeah.
It's a good interview.
Mm-hmm.
And that's impressive. If I were the UNC candidate, I would be worried. The man wasn't fishing at all. He seemed to have his focus in the right place, know to keep. He sounds like somebody who knows his way around and exactly what he wants to do.
Well, he's from the heart of the constituency. You know, he's one of our neighbors here at Exchange Lots.
Yes, he you could see that he wants to do something about the community which he lives. Right? He lived there, see what is happening. He wants to help to move things forward. And if I'll be worried.
All right.
Because I don't hear any of the UNC people talking the kind of language that I talk yesterday. No? That man talk a different language to UNC. And let me tell you something. You know, sometimes I wonder when this guy we name in Cuba, when he talking, I just want to know if he's from because he only Rowdy and PNM and Rowdy and wait. You representing the UNC or the PNM? Is more PNM and Rowdy than anything else. If I were that guy, I would say, sorry, when Rowdy come to talk, you representing PNM, tell me what the UNC do, what the UNC intend to do. Don't tell me what the PNM do, you know. Tell me what you're going to do.
These candidates, when they come to you soliciting your vote, two questions to them. What are your immediate plans to develop the constituency? What are your plans to deal with the crime situation facing the various communities? These are some of the questions you need to ask. Do not throw, I mean, this is 2020. I'm not telling you in what direction to vote, you know. All I'm saying to you is ask questions of these candidates. You went to school, you're bright. Guys, to you, the listening audience this morning, because Nicole Duque and I have been Philip Edward Alexander. We did indicate to you yesterday that we'll have an interview with him. But for some reason or the other, we cannot get him on the telephone. Yes. But we'll try to do so
at another time.
At another time. And we want to remind you to stay with us here, especially the morning program.
Yes.
Because in the coming weeks, lead up to the general election of 2020, we'll be chatting with a number of candidates from all political camps. PNM, United National Congress, the People's Empowerment,
COP,
yes. The MSJ, and what have you.
Yes.
So we'll be touching base with to get their thoughts and to get their views. That's a question or a comment or a thought if you want us to pose it to them. So we'll be making you part of the conversation.
You can send us a message on our Facebook page, send us in our inbox, and we would definitely respond to your messages.
All right. Yeah, so it's all happening here on 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Next week, let me alert you, we'll be chatting with Dave Tanku for the United National Oropouche West. Yes, that's my constituency. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll also be chatting with Anita Haynes a bit later on in the week.
And hopefully we'll be getting Faris Alwari. I tried calling him and I realized he returned my call last night. However, I was sleeping, so I'll try him again.
And we'll be, like I said, we'll also be trying to get in touch with Dr. Rudal Munilal.
Yes.
So we'll be touching base with a number of candidates from various camps in the lead up to the 2020 general election. Yesterday we had a very heated discussion, of course. We interviewed Dr. Rajendra Rampasad, the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement. We also spoke to it escaped my mind, but okay, we would have spoken to Nikolai Edwards during we spoke to a number of people.
Brennan Patterson.
Yes. So
as
I said,
recall who we spoke to yesterday.
But I know we did. We had this.
Yes.
We had discussion with two people yesterday.
Yes.
But it escaped me now. Yes. So it's only happening on one frequency, folks, at 975 FM Hot Like Pepper on the morning program. So we just a bit later on in the program, in just about 10 minutes, Randy Kangal.
Randy isn't here yet, so I guess
we're gonna chat with Uma Ratan Singh and a number of people who will be part of that road show tomorrow to bring you up to speed as to what is happening with that road show tomorrow. It should be a very exciting event.
Very interesting and exciting. But Kenrick, before you continue.
Okay, I think, just bear with us one moment, please. We're going to try to get Philip Alexander on the line. Stay with us here, Pepper.
975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is coming to you, all loyal listeners, and we're bringing goodies too. That's right. This is your time. Look out for 40-foot music trailer of raw power, powered by Randy B Sound Company, passing in your area. We start in Couva, then head along the southern main road into your area, and then we head to Monroe Road, Bokal, and Caroni with a smashing after party.
Sponsored by Balu Engineering Company Limited, Crystal Waters, Petersfield Hardware, Limers Bar, Pawan Wholesalers, Super Quality Supermarket, Jyoti's Puja Store, Daupan Trading Company Limited, and Sangre Grande.
Yes, indeed, and thanks for staying with us here at 97.5. Well, yes, on the line with us now is Philip Edward Alexander. He is the political leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party. We're going to share a discussion with him this morning. Let's take him live on the air. Good morning. A very busy schedule ahead of you, and thank you very much for taking our call this morning.
Oh, good morning to you. Good morning to you for calling me.
Well, certainly you would have been quite vociferous within the last couple of months or so, and more so in the lead up to the general election of 2020. Fixing a nation, that's part of your mantra. But let me throw your mind back to 20. Said that you are prepared to walk away from conventional politics. It is surprising to some decided to get involved in conventional politics. My question to you this morning, how many seats are you prepared to fight? That is the PEP. And more so, what constituency you will be contesting?
Right, so we are in Trinidad. We've thrown our support behind Watson Duke and Tobago, so we won't be contesting Tobago. We've had some challenges with dual citizenship, and a few of our candidates know there's this silly law that Trinidadians that have dual citizenship cannot run for elections. Mm-hmm. So that literally costed us some very good candidates. But the end, Monday night at 8 o'clock on CNC3, we're having our launch of.
All right, Mr. Alexander, part of your mantra is fixing a nation, a better Trinidad and Tobago. In your campaign, what is your campaign based on? What are some of the issues that you are basing your campaign on?
Our campaign is our politics. Our entire political party is based on rebuilding the family to rebuild the community. A nation is a collection of communities. You get the communities to work, you get the whole country to work. Mm-hmm. Also, my reason for being in politics, I understand it better than most, and I have skill sets that would allow for me to be able to bring the corruption in this country to an end. The fact that we're not in any way affiliated to any of the people who make up the contract mafia that have been ruining this country gives us an advantage. We've stayed clear of everyone who wields deep pockets and uses it for, and the ending of corruption is the most important thing in this country. And if you would allow me, Norway, which is a similar system, that put aside $1 trillion into their Heritage and Stabilization Fund, which earns them $100 billion a year interest. That's almost twice our annual budget. They could do nothing now. They don't have to sell anything. They don't have to work. They could make $100 billion just on interest. We can spend $3 trillion in Trinidad and Tobago. We have nothing to show for it. We're in debt, and we have no way of earning money next year.
All right. Let's pause there a bit, Mr. Alexander. So, in essence, your campaign will be based, as you claim, on incompetence and maladministration by this government of the day led by Dr. Keith Rowley. That's what your campaign will be based on. My question to you, and I do think that you would have answered it this morning, can you outline for us what seat you will be fighting, what seat you will be contesting?
To remove Colin Imbert.
Very confident.
Well, Colin Imbert is the Minister of...
My entire campaign is fire Colin and Philip. And I'll identify everything that Colin Imbert has failed to do and call on the people to come back.
Right. Mr. Alexander, you've been touching base with a number of people in the Diego Martin area. What are they telling you? What are they saying you about your representation of Coleman Burt, and what have you to offer them in the immediate and in the long term?
When Jack Warner was the Minister of Works, I was the head of something called the Diego Martin Redevelopment Committee. And I went to Jack with a plan to bypass 4 roads. Because before that bypass was built, people used to spend hours between 4 and 7. There was traffic from Movietown. Those of you familiar with the West, there was traffic from Movietown to get into Diego Martin, and every side street, every back road in St. James and Woodbrook and Westmoreland, and everything was crammed with the 70,000 people trying to get into the Diego Martin. And Jack agreed to do the bypass, and that bypass has saved millions of man-hours, billions of dollars lost to sitting in traffic. I got water for Rich Plain. 62 years, the people of Rich Plain have not had water, even though Keith Rowley has been their member of parliament. And when I got that, it was 2015, I was running as an independent candidate against Keith Rowley. He and the councillor went to the Integrity Commission to say that WASA was endorsing my campaign, kind of craziness. But we actually, $1 million to solve traffic. The Maraval traffic right now could be solved with just some street signs. They do it on a morning. So
West of Port of Spain. What are your plans to deal with a spiraling crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago, more so in the Port of Spain area? What are your plans to deal with crime?
If you just take a pin in that for just 1 second, because crime, water, traffic, those 3 things are the most important things for Trinidad in infrastructural politics. But water, we get 10,000 times the water we could ever use falling from the sky. Our water management system is built on washing that water to the sea, desalinated for $500 million a year. The Progressive Empowerment Party proposes to capture, hold, treat, and distribute the water that falls. They've been using something called shock doctrine, and shock doctrine is allow things to deteriorate so badly that the people get so frustrated that they will allow you to do just about anything. Well, we believe that the real problem is to remove those responsible for shock doctrine in the first place. The existing rivers that we have you could put gates, sluice gates, like Holland does, on the ends of the rivers and hold water in our trillions of times more water than our reservoirs do now. We have the ability to solve our water catchment and retention problem in months in Trinidad and Tobago. With regard to crime, Gary Griffith as Commissioner of Police is doing human service and working overtime to clean up the police service. He needs a lot more help than he is being given. Gary needs legislation that allows for an internal affairs division. New York City Police Department has took 10 years to clean it up. They said that they would work with us, and within 2 years, Trinidad and Tobago could have a pristine police service. New York City went from being the murder capital of the world to being the tourist capital of the world. And that was done by cleaning up crime in New York City. All of Metropolis and Gotham and all of those cities, those fabled cities, is actually New York City that they're talking about. And up to the 80s, New York City was a crime-riddled murder capital. When they cleaned up the police service, Trinidad and Tobago needs to clean its police service. Now, I don't want to blame the police officers. We live in a country where now drug traffickers have been allowed to run rampant through this country, and their cocaine dollars have corrupted every office of state in this country.
All right.
We can clean all of that.
Mr. Alexander, let's move on here a bit. This week, we had a discussion with Nikolai Edwards, and he is in the process of bringing, quote-unquote, all of these smaller parties under one umbrella. Have you had any discussion with Mr. Edwards?
He's trying to bring all the smaller parties together. The Progressive Empowerment Party is a national party. We told all of them that we're fighting 39 seats. So we had little interest in politics of expediency, and we spoke to Carolyn Tipasan-Beta, and we told her you'd make an excellent candidate, but the Congress and the people is dead. Nobody's going to sat in the parliament and allowed corruption to take place and said nothing until you got fired. You have no more candidates, and if the only way you're going to be able to fight an election is to link up at the last minute, movement. Now, that's not to say that Nikolai, who spoke with us, we said yes, that he wants to fight 5 seats. And we told him, yeah, we make an accommodation with you. We can make an accommodation with Watson Duke. Anybody that is progressive, and his party is a progressive party, we said no problem. We have no problem with a progressive alliance because progressive politics is good for the country. It worked for Singapore, it worked for Dubai, it worked for Norway, it'll work for Trinidad.
All right, Mr. Alexander, at one time you would have been a sympathizer of Kamla Persad-Bissessar. You still share a relationship with her. What's your relationship with the UNC and Kamla Persad-Bissessar?
I am loath to use this interview to bash anybody, but I think along the way, everything that should be strong about the UNC has been weakened. I don't think Kamla has a grasp on what she's trying to accomplish. So we're playing a kind of bait and switch politics where all of the senior members of the party, this is age, have nothing to do with unions, all the progressive empowerment party politicians and candidates are brand new to the public, no recycled politicians. But it has to be based on ability and capacity. It shouldn't be just you never see them before in a UNC issue. And I'm saying that at some point, those people, if she wins, those people end up in the parliament. And they're not capable to represent in the parliament. And that's the problem I have with what they... But I mean, at the end of the day, Trinidadians are going to make their own decisions. And right now, I think that is... If I could just say one more thing, if we could get Trinidadians thinking about policies, about understanding how things work, how they're supposed to work, why they don't work, and how they could work, if we get Trinidadians there, because this country could have been possibly the wealthiest nation in the world by now. This country could have been the best place to live on the planet. We've made a right mess of it in 58 years. Not too late to turn it around, but it's going to take all of us.
All right, you talk about turning it around. And my final question to you, Mr. Alexander, how of winning that seat, and how confident are you that the People's Progressive Party how confident are you? Yes, so my apologies. How confident are you that?
But our policies is what's going to make a difference, and everybody knows that. Every political party, in Kamla, you mentioned the UNC, have copied a lot of our policies. A lot of our policies that have made its way into the PNM and the UNC and other parties didn't exist prior to 2017. I was writing a book called Reinventing Trinidad and Tobago. It's been researched for about 20 years. A lot of the information in that book, people, ex-judges, ex-DPPs, ex-business people from around the world, engineers helped design the water policy. We've copied the shipping policy of Dubai that made Dubai and Singapore two of the richest countries in the world right now. We've copied the education policy of Finland. Finland has the #1 education on the planet. Anthony Robbins says success leaves clues. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Look for what works and do that. If the people of Diego Martin Northeast want a better Diego Martin Northeast, they'll vote for me because they know that I deliver. I've gotten 2 laws passed as law. I've changed the lives of the orphans, the homeless, and the disabled. People that nobody in this country wanted to touch prior to the Jericho Project being formed 25 years ago, which is the charity that I founded, and actually made life different for them. My lobbying is the reason we have disabled parking in Trinidad. They're now passing a law for that, but we've gotten the disabled parking for the disabled. So the people of Diego Martin Northeast are well aware of my track record. It comes down to now, a better community for you and your loved ones. You will vote for that. If you vote tribe,
all right,
maladministration, mismanagement, incompetence, absentee landlords, corruption, the list is endless.
All right, Mr. Alexander, before I let you go, can you tell us what is the fate or what is happening or what is the status of a group which you would have founded? It's called Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago.
We think at this from a position where we could change the politics by changing how people look at politics. All of this is fruit of the same seed, the NAR, the Congress of the idea behind the Congress of the people, of independence, the third force movement. Up to last night, I was on the telephone with Carson Charles, and all he was telling me is, Philip, boy, I see is still fighting it, and you're still pushing it. At some point, the people have checked up to the fact that we are not supposed to be voting on race. that is not where our politics is supposed to come in. Our politics is supposed to be about serving us. Our prime ministers are public servants. Every office holder is supposed to be public servants, serving us, making our education proper. The Progressive Empowerment Party has been saying for over a decade, SEA, make schools 10-year schools, and the children will have an opportunity to have a great...
We'll talk again in the future, my friend.
I'd love to say thank you very, very much for having me, and thank you to your listeners for joining us this morning. I wish everybody well. Looking forward to a free and fair election. I just want to remind everybody something. COVID-19 has destroyed Trinidad and Tobago. The PNM that would normally do an election budget full of election goodies to distract people can't even do a budget. So scared are they. If we vote wrong this time around, we could be voting ourselves into total misery. Chinese need to do better this time around.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for having me, my friend.
It's a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Alexander. That's the voice there of Philip Alexander, the People's Empowerment Party political leader. He will be contesting, his party will be contesting 39 seats in the upcoming general election of 2020. He himself will be contesting the Diego Martin Northeast seat. That
and
seat
there will be a lending support to Mr. Watson Duke in Tobago.
Yes. Watson Duke. Folks, we need to we have some callers on the line, Nicole, but we have to talk about our big day tomorrow. Let's take one caller. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
And Kevin, good morning to you.
And good morning to you, the de facto member of parliament for Bank Village.
Well, it's my brother, but I see all you have a nice music show coming around tomorrow.
Yes. I hope you'll be part of that, eh?
I want to find out what is coming, so I wanted to come out and see. You understand? Follow it. You know what I mean? So, what time is coming out by chance?
All right.
We will give you all the information.
We'll give you all the information.
Okay. Let us go on.
Yeah.
Let us go on.
Quickly, because I have this promo to do.
All right. Let us go on. I don't know if anybody touching it. Because I'm not tuning in because I was doing something. I see a lady last time crying and pleading and begging. And that's not the first person that do it. Many others, right? Asking. And the government of Trinidad and Tobago refusing to bring them people inside, which is this is their country, and they want to come back. It wasn't their fault that they stay outside here. Right. I see they want now to bring the CPL.
All right. Mr. Bank Village, my apologies, but this level of discussion, I want to have it on Monday after my interview with Omar Khan, and we'll talk about this because I have my Omar Khan is the manager of the Guyana Amazon Warriors, former manager. We'll talk to him on Monday, all right? And we'll have this discussion.
All right, my friend, we will talk again.
Okay,
you have a nice weekend, and I will look forward to see that job.
Okay, my friend. It's just about 17 minutes yet to the hour of 9 o'clock. I note that at the top of the hour, you can join the Beats Hi-Fi. But as now, joining me in the studio this morning is Umar Ratan Singh. And we're going to talk a bit about this big event we are having tomorrow. When I say we, I mean 975. It's our very first road show, and it's coming off tomorrow. So we're going to talk a bit about that. Stay with us here, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. But first, I want you to listen to this.
975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio is coming for your listeners, and we're bringing light. The U975 FM family is taking over the streets with our bandwagon. Starting this Saturday, 11th July 2020, and continuing throughout the upcoming weeks. Central Trinidad, this is your time. Look out for a 40-foot music trailer of raw power, powered by Randy B Sound Company, passing in your area. We start in Couva, then head along the southern main road into Chaguanas. Felicity, you will not be left out. We will be passing through your area. And then we head to Monroe Road, Bokal, and Caroni with a smashing after party.
Sponsored by Balu Crystal Waters, Petersfield Hardware, Limers Bar, Pawan Wholesalers, Super Quality Supermarket, Jyoti's Puja Store, Daupan Trading Company Limited, and Daupan Supermarket of Sangre Grande.
Family
Yeah, of course. We'll be jumping up together tomorrow on that big truck, a 40-foot trailer truck. Us here at 975 for our big show, the Road Show tomorrow. So Nicole Dookie and Uma Ratan Singh, two of the heavyweights. No pun intended. Two of the heavyweights who will be on the truck. They're going to tell us a bit more about this event. 975 we'll be having tomorrow. Behind this event, bring us up to speed as to what is happening.
Well, Kenrick, tomorrow we'll be hosting our very first roadshow. It will consist of a 40-foot music trailer, which will be moving through central Trinidad. We'll be making stop at different locations throughout central Trinidad. We'll be meeting and greeting with our audiences. What else? We'll have a lot of giveaways on the truck. We'll have live entertainment, and everything will be broadcast live on U97.5. We'll be streaming on YouTube. We will be posting videos on our Facebook platforms, and it's really to meet and greet with our fans, and also to invite more persons to be a part of the U95.
About you don't have to be a member of staff. You're a supporter of 975.
Yes.
You've always been an ardent listener to 975, and you can join us on this bandwagon. Tell us a bit about that.
You can definitely join us. So if you can bring the entire family, you can move in your own vehicle. And if you don't have a vehicle, you can call us. Call us at 769-6538 and reserve your seat. We will have transport to take you around with us at the station.
All right. Well, let me get Uma into the conversation here this morning. Good morning to you, Uma.
Good morning, Kenrick, and good morning to our listeners and our YouTube viewers. It's a day of excitement and fun and get to know your personality, because all our listeners listen to us from 12 midnight, but you hear the voices and you don't see the faces. So this is your great opportunity to come out and interact with us, know your person behind the mic, bring your friends, your family. There's giveaways, there's so much that is going to happen.
All right. Well, remind us, Nicole, as to what are some of the giveaways. You can be part of 975. Yes, we want you to be there tomorrow. Remember, we will be leaving our compound just around about 8:30.
Yes.
8:30 sharp. If you don't have a mask, you will be getting one.
We'll be providing branded U97.5 FM face masks. We're going to be having cups, giveaways. We also be having as well. Yeah.
So it's augurs well for a very beautiful and fantastic day tomorrow, yes?
Of course it is.
We had Carnival on a Friday. It's Fantastic Friday.
Yes.
Well, tomorrow we can be Fantastic Saturday with all of us here at a 975.
Tomorrow is U975 Saturday, and the branded name is Multicultural and Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. So everything is going to be heated tomorrow.
So you can bring out your tanty, your nenen, your friends, your family, and be part of this exercise.
Even the children can be a part of the motorcade. Keep them in the car,
and the Met Office did indicate that we may have some fair weather tomorrow.
Wonderful.
So it'll be augurs well, yeah.
Yes.
So come and be part of this event tomorrow. It's happening tomorrow. We'll be leaving our compound here from just around 8:30. Proceeding to various communities throughout central Trinidad.
Yes.
Come and touch base with us. Come and meet your favorite announcers and what have you. Like I always tell people, I might be seeing you tomorrow. Yes.
Yes. Come prepared to take photos with your radio personalities as well. And Kenrick, did we mention it's free to the public?
Yes. We you know how Trinidad like free thing, huh?
Oh my gosh, it's free to the public.
No. But it's our very first road show.
We're very, very excited about it. We can't wait.
You can expect great things coming from us here, from the stable of 975. Know that our DJs will be there too. Share some information with us.
We have DJ Vishal will be there.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Mix, I believe is his name. I can't remember his name, but we'll also have we'll have live entertainment, and we have our very performing on the track. We have Kendall, that's the sugar boy of U97.5. Kenrick, no offense to you, but yes, he's the star of U97.5. We have also Navin Lalu and Amila Raju. Saiban will also be passing through. We have a few artists who also indicated that they will be passing through to bless us with some music. live entertainment along the way, throughout the day. So there's a lot you can look forward to. And like I said, we're going to be streaming live on YouTube. But we don't want you to sit down and view it on YouTube. We want you to come out and feel the excitement, feel the vibes, enjoy what Trinidad is, party. Enjoy the party with us.
And you can feel the vibes at our very own, the Bees Hi-Fi.
Yes, Bees says he's a very spontaneous man, so you never feel.
Yeah. And you can also touch base with our very own Corky D.
Yes.
DJ Anel and Sharon Barrop.
Well, Sharon is coming. She's kicking out her shoes and she's coming to break away. So Ma is going to do
the news team will be there and the sales team. But if you're not too sure about Carnival next year and you're so excited, or either you're worried whether it's going to happen, come out tomorrow and lift up your energies. All that COVID-19 lockdown, come out tomorrow and just break away.
And then you spend so many months in quarantine, Kendrick.
Yes,
you need to free up yourself.
Yeah. True. So true. Yes, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, folks, and we're inviting you to be part of this exercise. Tomorrow is our road show. I just want you to note the time. We'll be leaving here. That is the compound of at 8:30, and we'll be proceeding through various communities in the central area. As Nicole would have told you, lots of giveaways. There'll be food and what have you.
Yes.
But please, on the truck, no alcohol. No alcohol.
Yes.
Might be disappointing to some people.
Kenrick, but this would not have been possible without our sponsors, and I would like to acknowledge them this morning and say special thank you in advance to them. And that will be Crystal Waters, Petersfield Hardware of Main Road, Chaguanas, Pawan Wholesalers Limited of 39 SS Erin Road, Debe, Bukal, Balu's Engineering, Darpan Trading Company Limited Supermarket, and Darpan Trading Company Limited, the real estate agents, and Danny's Bar of Kakandi Road, Felicity, Shanti's Bar of St. Thomas Village, Boot Hills Bar, McBean and Coover, and Jerry Junction Bar. And Kenrick, we will be stopping at these various bars, and our last stop, where the Real Jam will take place, the smashing after party, as we put it, it will be taking place at Lima's Bar on Bokal Road. And
note to Nicole that prospective clients outside there who are now hearing of this event, you can still be part of this exercise. All you need to do is call us here this morning, and I will give you my number. You can call me at 731-4382, and we can share some more information. There's still time for you to be part of this exercise. And note that we'll be also hitting the road.
Give you an idea of what we're going to do when we leave the station here. We are going down to the Couva Main to then come back up on the southern main road, and we're basically following that route, stopping along the routes to our various locations, which are some of these bars. Also Jyoti's Puja Store, who has also been a very one of our
clients.
Yes, one of our clients. And through the southern main road, we're going through Chaguanas, through Felicity, Caroni Savannah Road, Monroe Road, and then to Bokal.
All right, so it augurs well for, like I said, a very exciting
road trip
day tomorrow. It's a show.
Yes.
And we are inviting you to be part of this. Just let me remind you that if you do not have transport, that's okay. You can just
call us.
Call us.
At,
we have a number here.
6538. You can call, text, WhatsApp, and find out where we are. But most importantly, meet us here at the station at 42 Exchange Lot, Scoover, at 8:30 p.m. sharp. It's even better if you reach here at 8 a.m. Sorry, 8 a.m. sharp, and transport will be.
Because a number of people would have called and risk it. Please note that we will transport you from the compound back to the compound.
Yes.
And you can walk with whatever refreshment you wish to.
Yes.
And note,
no drinking and driving.
Please.
No drinking and driving, okay?
And let me also add, we have all the necessary passes from the relevant authorities.
And please remember that we are still, in COVID, so we will be adhering to all the laws and regulations that were stipulated in the public health regulations as it relates to COVID-19. So walk with your face mask. If you don't have, we will have some here for you. Make hand sanitizers, everything that you need to keep yourself clean and sanitized.
All right. Family, all parts of the 975 FM Hot Like Pepper family.
Spread the word for
Yes, well, that's it for our program for
Kenrick,
the day.
Before you close off, and we're playing the ideal song, I just wanted to say a special good morning to my family, my daughter. She's my biggest fan. She listens to me, even though she doesn't. She listens. So good morning to you, Amelia, and good morning to Amir.
All right. And let's say good morning to all of our clients outside there, all of our advertisers.
Our listeners, we're looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So reschedule everything that you have to do tomorrow and come down and have a
As-
wonderful day with us.
Fun-filled day.
As Bees would say on the thing.
Big
in
things are
975.
happening.
All right, folks, stay with us here at 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Up next is the Bees Hi-Fi, who will be taking you until the hour of 12 noon today with some beautiful music from our studio here in Couva in central Trinidad. I end with this.
975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is coming to you, all loyal listeners, and we're bringing goodies too. The 5 FM family is taking over the streets with our bandwagon, starting this Saturday, 11th July 2020, and continuing throughout the upcoming weeks. Central Trinidad, this is your time. Look out for a 40-foot music trailer of raw power passing in your area. We start in Couva, then head along the southern main road into Chaguanas. Felicity, you will not be left out. We will be passing through your area. And then we head to Monroe Road, Bocal, and Caroni.